I've chosen the Odessa Steps sequence from the Battleship Potemkin by Eisenstein because I think it's a wonderful sequence by itself, and in addition, it occupies a unique place in the history of film. The Odessa Steps sequence is the story of the soldiers sweeping down the steps at Odessa during the mutiny of the sailors on the battleship Potemkin, and what the soldiers do to the crowd, which is essentially drive the crowd away, killing a great number of them. Primarily a sequence of movement, of different camera angles, and of editing techniques to bring great emotion and excitement to that movement. And Eisenstein accomplishes this by various means. First, he uses the traditional long shot to establish the geography, to see the soldiers appearing at the top of the steps, and to start their inexorable movement down the steps, driving the crowd beneath them. He intercuts these long shots with medium shots of the crowd, and then brilliantly composed close-up of the guns firing and wonderful close-ups of the moving feet coming down. He counterpoints this with the medium shots of the people and close-ups of the people either fleeing or being shot and falling. So it is a steady movement down the steps that we know cannot be stopped. Shortly thereafter, he reverses his downward movement and cuts to a woman carrying her dead son up the steps. The shocking effect of this one woman carrying the dead son, as if to say, this is what you have done to the soldiers, is used to wonderful effect and breaks that movement down the steps and brings a note of humanity to the clearly described inhumanity of the soldiers' movement. He then cuts back and forth and eventually cuts to the baby carriage with the baby in it coming wildly out of control down the steps. At the same time, there are statues of lions at the bottom of the steps, and what Eisenstein does is to photograph those stone lions from different angles, and from the cutting, you have the feeling that the lions are almost rising up in shock and anger and potential opposition to what is going on. I overstate because it's the audience's impression that the lions are moving. Obviously, they are not moving. At one point, he intercut one shot of one cannon on the battleship firing. The battleship clearly could not affect what was going on. The lions could not affect what was going on. The mutiny failed, the soldiers won, but I believe, and I may be reading more into this than was there, but I don't think so. Eisenstein was a brilliant director. What he was saying, through the brilliance of filmmaking, he was also making a statement, which was that the mutiny for the moment was put down because of the superior power. But there was potential strength in opposition to let you know that maybe, and of course we know it did happen, eventually the people would rise and the soldiers, though they won that day, would eventually be defeated.
another close-up tomorrow at the same time with director Mike Figgis.